Hello, Heather. Good to see you.
Hello.
Cool. So this is
How's it going?
Talking Roaring with Rory, and possibly the last or second last time we talk before you get out on the big blue ocean. So you've sent out a newsletter, but I think some people might not be updated as to where things are up to. So just tell us a bit about where we're talking to you from and what's been happening the last few weeks. Be good to be up to speed.
Sure. So I'm in Monterey in California. So we last talked when I was about to get on the plane. I made it here, quarantined, been hiding out for what's now almost 2 months. It'll be 2 months hopefully by the time I leave.
Wow.
And just waiting has been the main game. It was about a month of waiting to see whether or not it would happen, and then it kind of hit a point where it's like, okay, gonna do this. And then since then it's been um, really doing the final preps, and the boat's pretty much packed and ready to go. If I had to, I could stick it in and I'd probably be okay. But I need to spend a few days on the water doing some tests. So the big thing that we're waiting for at the moment is weather.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Now you were just saying just before we started recording, you were telling me that everything was nearly ready to go, and then not. To just tell us that story. How close did you get to going, and what happened?
yeah, so I was really hoping to put the boat in the water last week to get it in. There was a weather window which has been shut. It was probably shut anyway, but we were going to do a beach launch, and that fell through. The guy that was going to help me decided he wasn't as keen.
Mm,
Don't think it's illegal, but then it was like, oh, I don't know. So not like in the illegal sense, but just like if this went badly, would it end up on the news?
right.
Yeah, that's probably my concern. It probably would have been fine though. Anyway, but I kind of had thought that was going to happen, so I was prepping everything. I had everything packed and ready. My family did a call, and they're in Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. So my sister got up in the middle of the night to have this final family chat before I got in the boat. Not that I was going to leave, but we didn't. I don't know what the signal's going to be like once I'm in the boat. And then that was that morning, and then found out it was going to happen. So motivation and
Mm,
the next day off just to do nothing. So you don't have to do anything because you can't do anything for a long time.
yeah.
Yeah, you have to build up the I'm going to row motivation again.
Yeah. And so now, and we should record this for posterity because it'll be, people will, this will be preserved. So you're in the middle of the pandemic in California. So that's presented all sorts of challenges. So there's the weather challenge, and there's also the boat ramp being open, and then there's been a kind of a lockdown that you've been part of. So just give us a little snapshot into what life has been like in California and the challenge it's presented.
Yeah, so it's sort of the Corona outlook. Um, well, getting here, I had the 2-week quarantine. I was able to go for a run every day, so that was my one exit from the room. And then the lady that I'm living with, PJ, so she would be in the vulnerable category.
Mm.
She's quite happy to have me there, so we just kind of avoided each other for 2 weeks, and now we're family. So that was probably one. And then at the beginning, trying to find supplies online as the rest of the country was trying to also, hide in their houses with emergency rations.
Yeah.
Made supplies quite difficult, so I had to
Yeah.
come up with a list of, if I get this, then I can do it. So slowly chipped through that, and then I suddenly was reaching the point of actually have most things. So if we get the boat in the water, then we can go. And that was sort of like, okay, I can actually do this. So that
Mm.
wasted a month, kind of trying to, in terms of motivation, like I had no idea if it was going to happen or not. So that was probably one thing. And then the boat ramps have been shut in
Mm.
Monterey for 2 months, and then are they can open, are they not? So I've been on the phone with the harbor master here, and then checked out every port along the country, or literally actually probably along the country, of the coast, the west coast, trying to find where I can actually launch from.
Yeah.
Almost wanted a trip up to San Francisco, trying to organize because they have some ramps open. So that's probably been a big one. And then in all of that, you've got preparing for this giant trip, which is full of uncertainties, but then it's been hard to know how to do that. And then even I think probably my fitness wise, it's like, I'm going okay, so I need to have that recipe beforehand. Nope, nope, don't need it anymore. So I think that's been an issue as well. So that's probably been the add uncertainty before what's to be a big uncertain trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably
So
been the
I
big
mean, I think your letter talked about uncertainty, my new friend or my old friend or
funny best friend.
my new best friend. Yes. Now, okay. Now with that in mind, you've got this kind of window opening up where, you know, give or take the uncertainty that's become part of your life at the moment and to an extent part of the world, what are you hoping and praying will happen over the next week or so?
Yeah. So I've been told the rents are going to open on Tuesday, which is a very big win. So that means I can stay here, so I don't have to go up to San Francisco. So that saves lots of logistics and money. And put the boat in the water. And then I may have to live on it if I can't get a slip or a berth to keep the boat in, which is fine. And then just come to shore to, you know, get supplies and have a shower each day. And then wait for the weather. It's looking like there might be a window on Sunday. We'll just wait to see whether that opens up big enough for me to go. So that's get in the boat, test it, maybe go for a couple rows. That's the other thing I was thinking about, given all this uncertainty. I've not rowed in 2 months.
Wow.
In general, like non-machine.
Yeah.
And I haven't rowed in the boat for 3 months. So it's a bit like you're about to do this epic thing, and everyone who athletically talked to you is like, you know, you should be training for weeks and months before this. And I have, but then it just kind of, so there's a very big degree of, oh, I hope this goes well.
Yeah.
Physically.
Yeah.
I just have not been able to train for it. So
wow.
I have to wing that.
So what are the actionables for us over the next little while? Like, what are some things we could do? You know, like pray for you. Are there support avenues or things we should be cheering you on in over the next 7 days?
If you want to have the last goodbye, not to make it too, you know, last supper, that'll be a chance to say hello until I get to Hawaii.
Yeah.
The website, I've updated it, so there's a map on the website so you can follow along once I actually get going and see where I am. Fundraising channels are open, so go for it and we can start to tally. And pray for a very long stretch of good weather.
Yeah.
That body holds up to suddenly going from 0 to 800 in terms of rowing. That's probably the big one.
Yeah. Wow. Cool. Well, and how are you? Are you like feeling nervous or excited or anxious or happy, or what's your kind of state at the moment?
Kind of. I feel like it goes, and I'm trying not to get too excited because I just want to see it actually happen.
Yeah.
So getting to the point, the boat's in the water, no one can stop me. And then it's just the weather, and then I'll start to get nervous. So when I was thinking I was going to go, and I did have like one night of no sleep, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm starting to get all nervous about stuff. Yeah, so I think I'm just trying to keep it level.
Yeah.
Because then, you know, I'm not hitting highs or lows before I can actually know that it's happening. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing, keep in contact over the next few days and hearing your little mini adventure of whether you end up living on a boat for a while and then, God willing, set sail next Saturday. Is that the one?
Yeah. So if a friend comes, we might be able to do a live stream of me going off. I can record it from my point of view, and I'll still have phone signal, so I can send a little video back before I get out of reach of the cell phone signal.
Excellent. That'd be fantastic. Cool. Great to talk to you, Heather. Keep in contact and looking forward to hearing what happens next.
Yeah, thanks.
Cool. Bye.
We'll see you later.